Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another video tutorial. Today's topic is computational review with rational numbers. Get out your composition book and pencil. Let's take some notes. You can use a pen too. Okay. First thing I want you to do is just estimate. So I give you 4 problems, A, B, C, D, and let's just, don't solve, just estimate. If you're adding these rational numbers or subtracting these rational numbers, what would you roughly expect? Let's do this real quick. A, B, C, and D, okay? Press pause and do this. So, number one, if you were adding 29 plus roughly 4, yeah, I would expect about 33. Number B, letter B. Letter B, we're basically subtracting 34 minus 10, maybe 34 minus 9. So, I would say maybe 24. Again, we're estimating. If you did not have exactly the same thing I had, like maybe you said 25, that's fantastic. C, this is roughly 90 times maybe 10. So we should get close to probably 900. Close. But maybe if you said 880, yeah, that's really good. And then this is a little tricky for some of you guys. But if you have 9 out of 10, that is really close to 1. That's close to 1. So you should probably expect about 72, 71, 72, because anything divided by 1 is itself, right? So why is this important to estimate? Because, why? Why is this important? Because, when we're solving these problems, we should have an expected value. And if your expected value is not what you actually get, then you should realize that you made a mistake. So here's what I want you to do now. Again, I said these problems are review. You probably have covered this last year. So now I really want you to solve these 4 computation problems. But remember what we expected. We expected maybe 33 for A, about 24 for B, around 900 for C, and maybe 72 for D. So when you solve, reflect on or think about what you estimated and compare. And if you're similar, then you should feel pretty good that your answer is correct. If you're way off, then you know you made a mistake, okay? So solve these, all right? And then we'll go over them. Press pause. So welcome back. Hopefully you guys are going, yeah, my answer is really close to my estimated answer. So here, if I was adding 29 plus 4 and 2/10, the important thing is that you line your place values up correctly. For example, notice I have my 9 ones with my 4 ones. See my 9 ones and my 4 ones, they're lined up. Because you can add 9 ones to 4 ones, okay? But you can't move this over. Like I always see some students though, they will, oops, what did I just do here? I will see some students that will write it like this, write the problem like this. And I will say to them, like, hey, what are you doing? You are now trying to add 4 ones with 2 10s. And 4 ones plus 2 10s is not 6. So you just gotta be careful of how you line your places or your units up. So here in this problem, I should have 29 plus 4 and 2/10. You can always add a decimal after a whole number, and it's always to the right of the ones place. And so now we just add. We get 2, 13, and then 3, and bring the decimal down. Remember, we expected about 33, 34. Do you see our sum is close to 33, 34? For this one, again, it's very important that you line up your places correctly. So I'm going to subtract my 8 and 9/10 from 34. Notice my 8 ones are lined up with my 4 ones. Again, if you like, you can add a decimal and a 0. And now let's just borrow. We're going to borrow 1, add 10. Borrow 1, add 10. Bring my decimal straight down. And we were expecting 24, 25. Do you see how my difference is very close to what I expected? This is called the difference, which is the answer to a subtraction problem. So number 3, remember we expected about 900. Well, let's just solve. One important thing to remember is you do not have to line up your decimals when multiplying, okay? Notice on these two problems, I lined up my decimals. When you add or subtract, you need to line those decimals up. But when multiplying, I don't really need to do that. Now, some students like to, and that's okay, but you don't need to. So I'm just gonna work this problem out like regular multiplication. This is 56. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 5 is 69. We always put that 0. And then let's keep multiplying. We have 63, 72, 78, 6, 12, 15, 8. I believe that's right. 56, okay? Let me just double check this real quick, make sure I did it, solved it correctly. So 87 times 9.8 equals, okay. So again, what did we expect? We expect close to or around 900. Well, where do we put the decimal in here to make the most sense? Well, the decimal should go here, right between the 2 and the 6. Another way of thinking about it is the decimal's been moved over one place or one digit in the factor, so you move it over one digit in the product. So my product is 852.6. That is around 900, okay? And why is it off a little bit though? Because think about what we did here. We rounded this number up to 90 and this number to 10. Therefore, we should expect less than 900, which we did. We got less than 900. We got about 850 or not, yeah, about 850. The last problem, whenever there's a decimal in your divisor, you move the decimal over as many places as needed until it's a whole number, which just means technically we multiplied by 10. So we're gonna move it over one place here. And so we can rewrite the problem as this now. And then when there's just a decimal showing in the dividend, just bring the decimal straight up. And now we're just gonna work out, this would be 7 times 63, my remainder is 8, bring down the 9. You would say 9 times 81, my remainder is 8, and then 9. And again, what did we expect? We expected about 72, right? Because this is almost 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. We got more than 72, which is still fine. It's not a whole lot more. Why did we get more? Because we were dividing by less than 1. And I'll go into more depth why that makes sense. If you're dividing by less than 1, you should get a greater value, a much greater value. Again, I went through these 4 problems pretty quickly because this should be a review. You know, I think all of you guys probably, if you did not remember how to do it after I went over, you probably had the, oh, yeah, I get that now. So what I want you to do now for tomorrow, we're gonna go over these 4 problems, very similar to what we just did. So in class, we'll just cover these and make sure that you solve them correctly. What should you do first though? Yeah, estimate. Right now, before you actually solve, just look at the problem and go, oh, okay, I should get about this. Okay, I should get about this. And then when you solve, compare, because that will help you understand if you solved it correctly or not. Hope you enjoyed this video tutorial today. See you on another day. Bye-bye.